What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be talking about 8 tips to help you go from a bench warmer to a starter on your football team. Now, fellas, tip number 1 is that you need to be at everything on your team. If you're a guy that's not playing and you're missing practice, you're missing meetings, you're missing team events, like that doesn't really make you look that good. It makes you look like you don't really care, and you don't really care that you're not playing. So, guys, showing up is, I don't want to say it's half the battle, because honestly, I think it's none of the battle. I think it's what you do when you're there. Obviously, that's important, but you need to be in the building. You cannot be that guy that is missing practice for appointments, missing practice because you have a little cold. Like, guys, you need to be at practice, and you need to be giving your best effort when you are at practice. Now, the next couple things that we're going to talk about throughout this video are obviously more centered to what you could do when you're there, but you cannot be a guy who's frequently missing practice because of family things, trips. Like, you need to showcase to your coaches that you are committed to football and that you're going to be at everything and that you are reliable. Now, fellas, the next thing that you have to focus on if you are not getting as much play time as you'd like is you need to know your playbook. Like, I can't tell you how many athletes reach out to us, whether it's a comment on a YouTube video, a DM on Instagram. They're like, Coach, I'm not playing. What should I do? My first question, do you know your playbook? And then they're like, oh, well, I joined the team late, or he doesn't have an actual physical playbook, so it's hard for me. Guys, you really can't make an excuse like that sometimes. You know what I mean? And I get it that there are circumstances. Maybe you did join the team late. Maybe, you know, they don't have an actual playbook. Maybe they just tell you your plays. You can't use that as a crutch or as an excuse as to why you're not getting your job done. The thing about football, and I'm trying to keep it real with you guys, is either you get the job done or you don't. And if you don't know your plays, you're not getting your job done. So you need to freaking figure it out. So, like, either get an assistant coach after practice, like, Coach, can you go over the plays with me? That's their job, is to teach you the plays. Can you go over the plays with me? Get an upperclassman on the team or somebody else on your team. Can you teach me plays? Go get with a quarterback if you're a receiver. Can you teach me plays? Figure it out and write your own playbook. Guys, like, put the name of the play on one side of a note card, use note cards, back side of a note card, draw out the full play, then review it. And that repetition of it is going to make you better at plays, have more knowledge of plays, and will get you on the field. I can't put you on the field as a coach if I don't trust that you're going to do the right thing, or you're always looking to me to tell me, for me to tell you what to do, as that's very tiring, and I need to focus on other things. I'm talking from the perspective of a coach. So, guys, make sure you know your playbook. That's the easiest way to get off the field if you don't know your plays. Now, fellas, before we get into the rest of the tips on this video, if you are a quarterback or wide receiver watching this and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches, go to that very first link in the description below. We are going to be traveling out to 15 different cities across the entire U.S. this year for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. Our next camp, you guys, is going to be in San Francisco, California. Then we'll be coming out to Orlando, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona, Columbia, South Carolina. Then after that, we'll be heading out to Seattle, Washington, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Nashville, Tennessee, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Austin, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Columbus, Ohio, Boston, Massachusetts, Salt Lake City, Utah, and finishing it off in Los Angeles, California. So, guys, want some more information? Go to that very first link in the description below. That is where you can sign up. All of our camps sell out, guys, probably 3 months ahead of time. So our first camp is in December. It will sell out probably in September, and maybe end of this month in August. So, guys, very first link in that description below. That's where you can get all the information and sign up. Now, the third thing that you could do, fellas, to help you get more play time is playing scout team. So what is scout team? Scout team is like the second team, or I guess you could say, like, from a high school standpoint, like, let's say, you know, Monday, Tuesday, you're getting ready for your game on Friday, you're playing whatever opponent. The scout team is going to run what that opponent runs on offense and on defense. So if you're on scout offense, you're running essentially that team's plays that you're getting ready to play, and then for defense, vice versa. So reason why it's important to play scout team and make plays on scout team is because you're going up against the varsity or the starting offense or defense. So if you are, like, let's say you're a backup quarterback, right, and you want to get more play time. Let's say you go into scout team and you're completing the ball, making plays, making the defense look bad. That makes you look really good because that's the best defense that you guys have on your team. And if you start outperforming the starting quarterback when the starting quarterback is going up against the second team or third team, guess what? That's going to make you look good, and that might turn some head from some coaches. So you need to play scout team. You should not miss a single scout team rep. And the great part about scout team is that there is no pressure. You're supposed to do bad. They structure the practice so the scout team does things wrong and the defense looks good or the offense looks good. That's how they structure the practice, you guys. I know this. I was a coach for a little bit. I'll never do it again, but that's how practices go. So you need to make plays on scout team, and you need to play every single scout team rep possible to stand out to coaches. Now, the next thing you need to focus on to get more play time is playing special teams. So here's the thing. A lot of times players don't play, not because maybe they're not, and at times it can be they're not the best athlete or they're not the most talented or the most skilled, and you need to give yourself an honest look in the mirror. But a lot of times athletes who have the talent, have the skill, have the speed, athleticism, the size, whatever, they don't play simply because of a lack of trust. If a coach does not trust you, he's not going to put you in the game. So, like, I'll give you a perfect example of when I was a player in high school. We had this receiver who ran track. Just an absolute speed demon, dude. Like, dude could outrun anybody on our team, but he had awful hands. Awful hands, right? Dropped every single pass. Couldn't trust him, can't rely on him to throw him the ball because he dropped the ball. It doesn't matter how fast he is if he can't catch, right? So he never worked on his hands, and he never played special teams. So coaches always labeled him as that guy. How he could have built that trust back, because it's easy to build it back, is work on his hands, improve where he needs to improve, and play on special teams to where, like, okay, he's executing his job on special teams. Maybe we can trust him with a bigger role. So kickoff return, field goal block, punt return. Those are all opportunities for you to get on the field somehow, because they're not going to necessarily put their starters on the field in a lot of situations when it's special teams. So if you get on the field and you start making plays and they trust you and you're doing your assignment, doing your job, that might increase the amount of play time that you get when it's an actual offense or defense situation. Now, the next thing I want you to focus on if you're a bench warmer, you guys, is to have constant communication with your coaches on what you can improve on. This is the mistake that a lot of athletes make. They go to practice, they have practice, then they leave. Guys, you need to go to practice, show up there early, get, like, you know, warm up, do whatever you need to do, position drills before practice starts, get your legs going, have a good practice. After the practice, find your position coach or your coordinator, whoever, and be like, hey coach, just wanted to ask you, did you see any things during this practice that I can improve on? What are some things that maybe I could improve on to maybe get some more play time? And asking coaches those questions. Hey coach, was that better? Did I do a better job on this from what you said yesterday? Having that communication with coaches, guys, trust me, it builds a better relationship, because, like, you got to learn this. Life is all about relationships, right? Like, people don't necessarily like people care about how you make them feel and if you feel like there's a good bond. You know what I mean? Like, that's why, like, people in general tend to, like, gravitate towards people who are similar to them. You know what I mean? Like, I like people who, you know, like, go to the gym a lot, like football, work really hard. Like, you know what I mean? I like people like that, right? I don't like people who are lazy. I don't like people who complain, because that's not what I do. So same idea. Like, if a coach feels like you really, really care about your position and he really, really cares about doing his job well, and you're constantly asking him questions, constantly asking for feedback, that can build a better relationship. And a better relationship will increase the amount of trust he has in you. He thinks that you're a player that actually cares, and they might give you a shot. And then really it's what you do with the opportunity and what you do with the shot at that point. But constant communication is key with your coaches. So now, fellas, the next thing you got to focus on if you're a bench warmer player is not making excuses and surrounding yourself with people who make excuses for you. So here's the great part about football. Like, if you're in a football play, everybody has their job to do, right? You either execute or you don't execute. You're either starting or you're not starting. Now, there might be reasons as to why you didn't make the play. There might be reasons as to why you're not playing. But the fact of the matter is, you're not playing, and that's the case. So what are you going to do to get into that starting role? That needs to be your mindset. Your mindset cannot be, I'm giving 50 different reasons and 50 different excuses as to why I'm not where I need to be. You need to figure out how you need to get to where you need to be. So if you got parents, and it's tough with your parents because they're your parents, right? But if you got friends, other teammates that are constantly filling your head with, man, you should be playing, bro, he's playing favorites, coach playing politics, it's daddy ball, whatever, and that's constantly all you're hearing. You're not going to be motivated to try to fix the problem or solve the problem. Your mindset needs to be what we just talked about when communicating with coaches. What can I do to get more play time? Have the hard conversation with your coach. What can I do to get more play time? Like, coach, like, I totally respect your opinion and I respect the starting group, don't get me wrong, but, like, I want to help the team. What can I improve on to better help the team and get more play time? And if you ask him, he's going to give you an answer. Guys, he's going to either say, keep doing what you're doing, that's not a real answer, go ask another coach. Or he's going to tell you need to improve in XYZ areas. Then go improve in those areas. Don't be that dude that just makes excuses. Because you make excuses long enough, that's what you're going to, like, how you do this is a phrase. How you do that phrase that a lot of people say. How you do one thing is how you generally do everything. So if you're in high school, youth ball, and you're just constantly making excuses, what do you think you're going to do 10 years down the road when you have, like, an actual job and maybe you didn't get a promotion or maybe your boss is kind of, you know, an a-hole to you? Like, you're just going to be an excuse guy. And trust me, you don't want to live like that. So try to solve the problem rather than complain about the problem, and get rid of the people around you who just feed into that, or just tell them, hey, I don't want to hear that right now. I'm trying to figure this out. Now, fellas, my next piece of advice is for those of you that are kind of in a position battle. Maybe it's you versus one other guy. Maybe you're kind of getting the short end of the stick where you're not getting as many reps. He's starting to maybe run away with the position battle. Whatever it is, you got to improve in the areas that he's better than you in. So I always relate this to quarterbacks, right? Because that's what I played in high school, at least. And I was in a quarterback competition, it seemed like every damn year, whether a kid transferred in or a kid was older than me or whatever the case may be. And I won some and I lost some, right? And I feel like the ones that I lost was where I was kind of not so much focused on myself and where I can improve and where I could help the team. I was more so focused on the other guy and like, oh man, he did that play really well. Like, damn, okay, now I got to outperform him. And like, no, how you win a position battle is what you do away from the actual reps in practice, in my opinion. So like, let's say you're a quarterback who's really, really accurate and you're pretty mobile outside the pocket. The other quarterback is really good at reading defenses and he has a strong arm. So where do you think you need to improve? Reading defenses and getting a stronger arm. That's what he has on you. What I tell players all the time, don't leave anything to the judges. What I mean by that is like, let's say you're fighting a dude, you're boxing him, right? You never know how the judges are watching the fight. You might feel like you won, but like it's in the judges' hands now. It's out of your hands. You want to knock the freaking dude out. I want to be that much better than him that the judges don't even play a factor. Same thing in a position battle. I want to knock the guy out. Every aspect of the position, I want to be better than him in. So if he has me in a certain area, I got to be better in that area. Because if you check off all those boxes, who do you think they're going to roll with? They're going to roll with you because you're the guy. So focus on that in a position battle. Don't worry about what he's doing, how he's competing. Just focus on improving your game and putting yourself in the best position possible to be the leader of the team, to be in your position, and to help the team win football games. Now this next tip, fellas, is for you younger guys. So younger guys who are new to football, first year of tackle, first year of football, whatever, and you're not playing, right? You might be a little bit discouraged. You might thought football would go different. Maybe you thought it'd be similar to flag football and you thought you'd be the starter or whatever the case may be. And there are a lot of people who walk right in and play sometimes too. So I'm not saying this is one size fits all, but if you're new to football and you're not getting as much play time as you can, my biggest piece of advice to you is just think about the journey and how much longer you have to go and just get 1% better every day. Quit comparing yourself to other players. So I think a lot of times, like let's say you're a 7th grader, right? You have 7th grade season, then 8th grade season, and then high school. High school is when it matters the most, right? Because I would assume if you're like serious about football, you probably want to play in college. And the film that college coaches want to see is high school varsity film. So you got a couple years until it really matters, right? Youth ball is, yes, you want to win. Yes, you want to play well. I'm the most competitive person alive, I think. And you always want to play well, right? And you always want to win. But it's really about development at the end of the day. How are we getting these guys prepared for the next level? That's how coaches should think, in my opinion, right? So you have a lot of time. Don't sit there and compare yourself. Don't be that guy that's like, oh man, he's so much better than me. He's probably played tackle for 4 years, bro. You've only played for 1 year. So just stay in your lane. Put blinders on and just focus on what do I need to do as a player to get better. And if you keep stacking days, let's say you practice 4 days a week, you get 4% better a week. You have a game. You learn from your mistakes that you made in the game. You get 5% better a week. And if you just keep stacking days, I promise you guys, you will become so much better of a football player. So when it actually matters, you'll have a real chance to be able to play. So don't get discouraged and don't play that comparison game.